Okay friends, are you ready to head up to this little loft room and see the final makeover? We call this the upstairs of the house. It was virtually a useless space, but we've turned it into a bedroom for my oldest daughter. She's the one that really wanted it. So I can't wait to share it with you. I've shared little peeks in our makeover progress videos, but some of you have been asking for this final reveal and I've got it done. These stairs are really unique. They actually fold up against the wall because sometimes you need to pass through this full hallway. And they were, if I've got my story right, they were taken out of like an old historic home out in the east. When the people built this originally, they did have a tiny room up there. And so they put these stairs up there, but we've made it much bigger. Can't wait to share it with you. But I think we need to go back and visit the before shots of this space. So when we moved in, you would climb these stairs and just have this tiny little landing, and it stopped there. There was a little door that led into this, to the rest of the peaked attic space, but it was just like gross insulation, really musty, just somewhere that you would not want to go into. But when we saw that we could actually take down some walls and expand this space to match the entire length of the whole peak of our house, well, my imagination took over and I knew we had to do it. So it was a messy job, but we got it done. Had a little help doing it as well because there was a lot of electrical stuff. We needed to make sure that structurally it would be okay. But once it was framed out, we could then put on some wall paneling. And we actually did some spray foam insulation as well. I think because this was just right next to the roof of the house, basically condensation would make its way in. And so we had a lot of professionals come and look, and they recommended this spray foam because it would actually trap it all and I think make it so that it wouldn't even build up condensation. I don't know, that's getting all technical. Basically, we brought in professionals, had it insulated so it wasn't extremely hot in the summer or freezing cold in the winter. So it's made a huge improvement on the house overall and on how we're trying to regulate the temperature. Okay, let's head up. I'm dying to share with you what this looks like. So let's go on up. I will say they feel a little rickety, like they kind of rock, and so it takes people off guard, but it's pretty darn sturdy, and you can see how they latch it once you fold it up with these things on the wall. So anyway, I'll try not to fall, and we'll share this room. Okay, looks like sweet baby girl left early this morning with dad, so I'm gonna tidy up her bed. I thought this would give you a good visual for how the space flows. I can stand up at the peak. My head is not hitting, but it's tight. So this is gonna be interesting. You kind of have to shape your body to the shape of the room. Oh, as you can see, it's very tight. Oh, this would like kill my back every day. She's young, she doesn't complain, but I know I couldn't do it. That feels like a workout. My abs are activated the entire time. Okay, look at this cute blanket. She made it. She's been really getting into sewing lately. I thought it was super cute at the end of her bed, so that's what we're doing. It's still shedding a little bit. It's one of those like rag quilts where you have the frayed edges. Super cute. She just used my fabric scraps. Anyway, we'll put that on the edge of her bed. Can't remember for sure how she likes it, but we'll play around. Okay, why am I out of breath? That was harder than it looks, friends, to like bend over and do something for a long period of time. But anyway, let's flip this around and show you the whole space and how it flows. I think it turned out really cute. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments below. Let's take a quick break so I can tell you about today's video sponsor, Legacy Online School. You're especially going to want to listen if you are interested in alternative education opportunities. As you may or may not know, we have homeschooled our children for, I think we're going on the 6th year. And so anytime I hear about new ideas of how to educate your children while at home, I definitely perk up and get really interested. And I was super excited to hear more about Legacy Online School and what they offer. So Legacy is actually a private online school, and they are accredited, which means your child can take the courses and classes on here and actually get a diploma and a transcript and that kind of stuff if that is very important for the path that you're on or that your child is on. They have options all the way from elementary, middle, high school, and even IEP plans, which I think is really cool. There are so many options within the Legacy platform that I think you can use to suit your family best. While I'm talking, I'm going to show you what it actually looks like inside of their platform, their courses. Let's take a look first at the elementary level so that you can see what it looks like inside. Legacy Online School was so great to help me set this up so that I could show you, because it's so important when you're looking for alternative education ideas that you know what you're getting into. What I think is awesome is that this is an online private school that is extremely affordable. If you've ever looked into private schools, they can be quite expensive. This one will only cost you $149 a month, which is a phenomenal deal for a private school. And I will leave a link and a coupon code down in the description if you want to go right away and go look at it. But let me tell you a few more things about Legacy Online School. Once I was actually in digging through like their elementary classes, middle school and high school classes, I was really impressed with the format. They have a mix of text and videos and activities, making it really engaging for your children. And you can actually trial these classes. You can join up to 3 live classes to fill it out. You can reach out to them and talk to them about what your student needs or what they have that they could offer you, what would work best for your family. So definitely head to their website and reach out to them if this is interesting and you want to give it a try. Legacy has some great support, not only as you are learning and investigating about this, but once your student signs up, they have teacher support so that they're not feeling like they're left alone in their education. Now, since I have 3 high schoolers, this is really interesting to me. They offer dual enrollment classes, AP classes, and a lot of extracurriculars, clubs that you can join for free. There's just a lot of options that can diversify their education and help them with their goals, whether they're trying to get some college credits or get better prepared for college. It's all there. Like I mentioned, they are fully accredited, so if you're seeking a diploma, they can get a fully recognized diploma through Legacy Online. Another really cool thing to know is that you can join Legacy Online School at any time, even if it's in the middle of the year. Say you needed to pull your kid out of school for multiple reasons. This is something you could jump on right away. Maybe you're overwhelmed with homeschooling and doing it yourself for your kids. This is something that you can just support them with whatever classes they need to fill in the gaps that you may not be able to reach. There's just a whole lot of options. So definitely reach out to them and see what they have to offer. Go right to the website and see if there's more that you can learn than what I'm telling you. But here's a couple more things that I thought was really awesome about Legacy. You have the option that you can join live classes. So they're in these small groups with about 10 other students and the teacher. So if your student pays attention better, if they feel like there's other people joining them at the same time, that's a great option. But for those who just want to work self-paced, you got the self-paced option where you can just go at your own pace and do what you need to do based on your schedule needs. Another really cool thing is that this is a 4-day-a-week school, so the load isn't too heavy. They get Fridays off. Or they can just do it at their own pace and make it work. So some really great options that I feel like this private online school has worked hard to tailor to families' needs. For us personally, education in our home is one of the most important things in our life, and so I hope you enjoyed learning about Legacy Online. Maybe they have some resources that you can use, so definitely check it out in the link in the description below. Head over there, click around, try out some lessons, and see if it will work for you and your students. Huge thanks to Legacy Online School for sponsoring this video. Okay, let's pull up a squeaky old chair here and chat a little bit about this really cool attic space that we've turned into a bedroom. So this is for my daughter Ray. She's currently 19 years old and about to leave us. So that's kind of sad, but that's also why I wanted to hurry and get this space done so she can enjoy it for about a couple more months. But she's about to go on a mission to Kentucky, Louisville, and be teaching the gospel and sharing her testimony in the Spanish language to the people there who speak Spanish, and of course any English speakers as well that are interested. But so she's about to leave us, and when we talked about renovating the space, she was adamant that she wanted this room, which I think it'll work out. It'll just kind of sit up here. I'm pretty sure that the day she moves out, little brother's gonna move up here with Legos, and this may be a Lego room, which is quite convenient. I won't be stepping on them at night, so that might work too. But until my daughter leaves to go serve a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, this is her little abode. She didn't want to share a room with a sibling. Brother was more than willing to have the space, but she called it. So here it is, it's hers, and it's just oozing with her personality. So when we knocked down the wall, this wall here, and then to the corner of it, we had to add, of course, some safety measures so there wasn't just this huge hole in the floor. So we found this old wood railing, these railing pieces up in the garage attic, actually. So at some point someone had collected them or used them. I don't know where they came from, but they were in this house. So we had this railing built, bought some new bigger posts, and we painted those posts the same color as these two end walls. It's this really pretty deep blue-gray, of course blue, right? It's a lavender blue cottage, but it's also one of my daughter's favorite colors. And then rather than like worrying about plaster mess, we decided to just put tongue and groove boards running horizontally on both of these peaks. I believe it was quite the job to get them level by having them run the whole length of this room, but Brigham, our contractor, did such a good job. And for lighting, it was kind of an interesting situation. We knew we wanted a couple of light fixtures on each end wall, but we figured that wouldn't be enough. So we found some rope lighting that we could hardwire into this space. So when you flip on this light, it actually turns on this rope lighting that runs the whole length of the room. Really cool. Obviously, we couldn't have installed like light fixtures hanging from the peak. Those certainly would have been head knockers. So the rope lighting idea worked great. We did actually end up installing 2 brand new windows. The windows that were in here were pretty bad. They didn't keep out temperature. There was even some water damage at the windows. So that was kind of an expense I didn't expect, but it was worth it to get some new windows in here that function well and are more temperature regulating. So as far as the flooring goes, I can't remember if we picked laminate or what's the other kind? The snap together kind. Laminate? Check my phone. Laminate versus vinyl plank. So I know they're from Home Depot. I will figure that out and link the source, but it's nothing special. I just went to Home Depot and picked them out. They were a great price, and I loved the medium wood brown tones that it brought to the space. So initially my husband and I just thought this would be a really fun playroom, and I'm sure it will become that someday as more kids leave the nest and another bedroom is maybe unnecessary. Or maybe we put more beds, like built-in beds along both peaks, and make it this fun grandkid bunk room. I don't know, that might happen. I have several images saved on Pinterest that show how we could do that. The space may be a little tighter, but I really think it could be fun to just line it with little twin beds. Be tight, but possible. Anyway, since it serves now as a 1-person bedroom, we still had to consider like how to store mostly clothes and some belongings. So that's where we got a little creative. I didn't see any way to make an actual framed-in closet. Bringing up furniture in here was almost impossible just because of the tight peaks. You couldn't really, if you put anything against the wall, it left a huge gap behind and basically protruded into the space. So rather than hiding the clothes, we decided to make it more out in the open and pretty that way. And so this is a solution we came up with to hang her shirts and dresses and things. So I just got a couple of rods off of Amazon and we hung them at kind of a slant. We made sure there was enough room for hangers to go there. So we hung those on the wall. There are some lower ones behind where she can hang some pants as well, but we found that she just prefers to put pants in these little baskets here by me. But that's it for like hanging clothes storage. And it's really fun because she has color coordinated them. So it actually looks really good. I got her all black hangers. And so I think that works. It just makes this kind of fun, open loft space vibe. But I knew we would also want some storage for like basket spaces, whether this is always a bedroom or more of a toy storage room for grandkids someday. I just knew that we would need that. So along this wall, my husband built basically this little cubby where we could put baskets with a shelf top where she could put some things for decor basically. So the little cubby's just made out of painted wood and then we put a board on top and stained it a walnut color. I think it turned out really cute. On one side I have these wicker baskets. She keeps most of her clothes in there. And then on the other side, we've actually been dragging around these fabric baskets that we've had many houses ago. I've loved them, so I haven't wanted to throw them away, and this was the perfect spot to use them. But basically, my husband cut some cherry wood that he had down into little strips, and we glued those to the front of the fabric basket. So it makes like a cute surface. So that's what we put there. She stores more clothes and some keepsake items and whatnot. It just got quiet and I noticed her clock is like ticking in the background. I hope that's not distracting for you guys, but she's got a clock on the wall that's ticking. If I get quiet, you might hear it. But anyway, let's talk about this gallery wall where this clock is. So she just was adamant that she wanted a gallery wall where she could just hang random bits of meaningful things that she would find, things that her friends have actually sketched for her or drew for her. She loves embroidery, so she embroidered this picture of Jesus Christ on there. We have just some fun little mementos, art that she's collected and whatnot. I actually had some empty frames that I ran and grabbed from the thrift store, and we were trying to find art. And I remembered this old children's book that I had, so I actually bought it for the purpose of framing some of the really cute art. So that came in handy this time. We just found some pictures in there that fit the frames, and I think it looks really, really cool with that brown aged paper against this blue wall. But it was really fun to kind of play around this wall with her. Just hold things up randomly, no rhyme or reason, just hold it up and say, yeah, that looks pretty good, and nail it in. So that was fun. She's got some hanging roses, this really gross head carcass thing that she thought that was the coolest thing that she found on a hunting trip with Dad. So it went on the wall. This is just her thing, and I think it turned out pretty cute and just makes me smile. And I'll probably, when she's gone, I'll just come up here and look at it and cry. That's probably what I'm gonna do. Oh, and then we ended up putting a desk up here. I love having a little desk up here where she can study things, read scriptures and whatnot, and the view is incredible out this window looking down at the kind of pasture field on our property. So a really sweet little nook in this corner, and this desk was one that I had played around with, maybe having downstairs as a coffee table and chopping off the legs. I'm really, really glad I did not do that because it fits this space perfectly. She is also my plant loving gal, and so she has a couple of plants up here. We did add some faux greenery, but we knew we wanted to bring some of that liveliness and green because she just seems to thrive on that. Okay, and then down on the other wall is just where the bed is. Again, another amazing view out this window. In fact, she really wanted to have her dad build her kind of like a day bed, so that a twin bed that would run horizontal. Or I guess I should say she wanted a bed that was parallel with the back wall instead of having the bed coming in perpendicular. Did I say that right? I hope so. That was a challenge. Okay, so we had this bed frame already. It's a shorter antique bed that I picked up on Facebook Marketplace many, many years ago. And we put it in and I thought it looked really good. I do love her idea of the bed that would be more like a built-in day bed running parallel with that back wall. I love the idea of that. I think it would open up more space, and also how amazing to be able to wake up and look out that window. But where she's leaving and we have many other projects to do, I just felt like this works for now. We didn't need to spend any more extra money or time on this project. So we just got some really beautiful bedding that she liked and helped me pick out for the space. She's a girl after my own heart and loves the gingham pattern. So we found some gingham sheets, cotton sheets with a cute little ruffled edge, just a nice white blanket on top of that. And then she loves big fluffy duvets. So we found this kind of clay brown color duvet. She really likes the earthy tones, and so that works great on there. And then of course topped it with that cute rag quilt that she made. For the bedside tables, I knew like a standard size thing was not gonna fit, so we got a little creative with what we already had around the house. I had these 3 suitcases that she actually used in her red and black room from the other house. I will link that if you haven't seen that space. That was really cool and fun to do with her as well. She's got an interesting style vibe that is quite a bit different than mine, but it's really fun to play with and just kind of explore her style with her. So anyway, those 3 suitcases we just stacked up, and that's kind of like a bedside table. And then she thought it would be cool to put a crate on the other side, and I had this old crate that we just turned upside down, and she can store her scriptures there that she can easily grab when she wants to read them at night, or any other book or things that she decides to put by her bed. I also had this cool antique stool. It's not really one that you stand on or sit on, so we thought it would be great at the end of her bed just to add some interest. Then also she can fold up her pajamas and whatnot and put them there instead of all over the floor. So that's the hope, but it's really cute, I think, just sitting there at the foot of the bed. And then she also picked out this rug that has a lot of the color tones that she likes, more of like that rust orange, some blues and golds and that clay color. So I think that tied in really well. I also got her this round jute rug to put here over by the desk. I thought it would just add another element to frame in this little corner. All those little details matter when you're making a cute little nook. I think just any movement and design direction you can create around a space just gives it more of that cozy vibe. Well, friends, this is kind of a small space and there's not a lot more to cover here, but I hope you've enjoyed seeing it. I think it is quite the transformation and was really fun to take it from this before space where it was just tiny, gross carpet, gross windows, just not very appealing, to this amazing space that we can actually use and makes it so fun. Every kid that comes has to explore it. They're just mesmerized by the rickety stairs that come up here and what they see when they get up here. It's really fun. I think the only thing I haven't mentioned is this beautiful canvas print that we have carried around with us. This is something she picked out for her room in the last house. Let me tell you a little backstory about it, but it's just really meaningful and sweet for her and I. So my sweet daughter Ray, when she was just little, like barely able to talk, we discovered she loved to hold hands, and it's kind of been her thing. She just loves to hold hands. I think it's so sweet, and it's something that I'm gonna miss because yes, my 19-year-old daughter, who's pretty much the same size as me, still loves to plop on me and cuddle and hold my hand. It's just the sweetest, and I'm gonna miss her. It's more of a joke now because it's just funny and awkward, but I love that she'll still do it. But anyway, I digress. When she was so little and barely able to talk, she would love to have us lay next to her, hold her hand and sing, and she would just mutter in her barely little discernible language that she wanted us to hold hand and eat. That meant hold hands and sing. So that's kind of a constant thing that we remind her of how much she loved that. She won't really let me sing to her anymore. I think she realized I don't have that good of a singing voice, but she loved it back then. So that's just kind of a sweet thing. And when we saw this print of the Lord holding a daughter's hand, and it just really struck a chord for both of us, and we knew we had to have this printed in her room. And I was so grateful that we built this little straight wall where we could hang this bigger art piece. It worked out perfect. It's also just such a sweet reminder to both of us, to all of us here at home, as we are nearing the time where she's going to go on a great adventure, one where she gets to serve others and serve the Lord for 18 months. It's just a reminder that the Lord's got her, He's holding her hand and will lead her along, and we're so grateful for that. So it's about time for me to deliver her hand into His so that He can hold hand and ease. All right, friends, thanks for joining me. This was really fun to share with you. I'm excited to have this space done, and that it will be just like this when she gets back. We know that once kids move out and begin their own lives, it is rare that we get them back, so I'm holding on to every little moment we have. All right, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've been inspired, and I hope you'll subscribe and join me next week so that I can share with you more inspiration for the keeper of the home. All right, have a lovely day, my friend.